you have these fossils in a very specific pattern.
No, you don't.
It does not make any sense in the flood.
Okay, I don't. Who taught you they're in a specific pattern? Now that's where you got lied to. Okay,
They are in a specific. You never find trilobites with hominids, for instance, as
you need to come
pointed out.
Now, if you did, what would that matter? We find coelacanths with hominids.
still alive.
So, all you would say is, so, you found a trilobite with a hominid.
Coelacanths are still alive. Why are there 65 million years of no coelacanth fossils being found?
It doesn't matter if we find a trilobite.
I think they got isolated in a particular part of the world.
Now, see, you could say the same thing for any trilobite. You know, your whole argument about the trilobite found with the human or hominid fossil is irrelevant, because if we found one, you could say, oh, who cares? You know, that can happen.
If you found trilobites in the same setting claims hominids, you would turn the theory of evolution upside down.
Well, wonderful.
You would be a rich guy.
I'm sure they would probably say that about coelacanths.
Well, hold on. We had some.
No, John, hold on. Let me count this. The trilobite is one of the most ancient creatures on the face of the earth. It's Cambrian era.
We had some sent alive to us a month ago.
A trilobite?
They're in my museum. They died.
No, sir. No, you're lying, Ken.
You need to come down to Dinosaur Adventureland.
No, sir.
Pensacola.
No. Trilobites
Look at this. Jared. You see how adamant you are. It doesn't matter if we found one.
You are saying something that is demonstrably false.
Hold on 1 second, dude. And first of all, you can't say it's false that none of them are anywhere with a human, because you don't know that. You suspect
No, we just never found any.
Okay, well then you don't know that it's false.
Let me make 1 point here. Jared would have made the exact same reaction in 1938 when they found the living coelacanth. He would have said, you are lying, there are no coelacanths, they've been dead for 325 million years, our theory predicts it. He would have been just as dogmatic on the coelacanth. So, I'm sorry, you're the one that's mistaken.
No. There has been so much room in the geological column for trilobites to show up again. The Cambrian is like the second earliest rock layer.
According to what somebody taught you.
Cambrian, pre-Cambrian, it doesn't get much lower than that. We're talking like Burgess Shale creatures.
Well, I understand what you're talking about.
This is 500 million years old.
No, that's what you were taught. I taught earth science myself. The Cambrian layer doesn't exist. It's the whole geologic column.
Exist.
The whole geologic column doesn't exist. They find a layer of rock, and they name the layer of rock based on the types of fossils they find in it.
Do you honestly believe that if you found a trilobite, okay, you said that you have, but I mean, don't you think that if you found a trilobite, that you would at least upset some evolutionists?
You're upset.
No, I'm upset because you're parading around some false evidence. I really don't believe you that that's the trilobite. I don't believe you. You would have to prove it to me.
Oh, I'm sure I would have to prove it to you, and just like I would have to prove the coelacanth, 50 years ago.
No, hold on.
Or the living dinosaur.
No. The coelacanths aren't that old.
65 million years old.
No, yeah,
over a couple hundred million years old.
First of all, the coelacanths that are living, the so-called living fossils, are not the same coelacanths that are in the geological column.
Right, the dead ones are dead and the living ones are living, so they're not the same.
They are.
And it doesn't stop there. You have the Woolly pine tree, you have the tuatars, you have so many different types of, quote, living fossils that just don't show up between there and here, yet they're here.
And why does it take so long to find them?
Well, who's doing the looking? Somebody with a government grant out there to prove evolution is looking. He doesn't want to find something that upset his grant money. Man, he's got to pay for his Porsche.
What I'm trying to say is that these things that we think go extinct, we think that they went extinct because they're very hard to find. They get isolated into small pockets on the earth, and humans don't, go out looking every square foot like that.
Okay, so are you at least willing to entertain the idea that maybe there was a small pocket of trilobites somewhere on this earth?
If there were...
Not if there were. Are you at least open to that possibilty?
I'm open to the possibility, but here's what would happen.
Well, you were just saying it's a demonstrable fact that they're not alive today.
No, okay, look.
You can't know something like that. You'd have to be every place to know that.
I don't think that what you think is a trilobite is a trilobite. If it were, I think that I would have heard about it by now from, every news source in the world. That would be the most shattering blow to evolution.
No, in 4 years, there was no problem.
Think about what you're saying. Evolutionary theory talks about...
is old. It's 65 million plus years old.
What's the Wallaby pine?
The Wallaby pine, I have no idea how old that is. That sucker's old, too.
And they found the four still alive in Australia.
First of all, the coelacanth that we have today that we found is different. It has evolved.
It has evolved?
Not the same. It's just not changed very much. And they have an explanation for that.
Of course
it was so well adapted to its local environment that it didn't need to change very much. There was no selective advantage towards keep changing.
Which Which is what the story would be for any trilobite or any trilobite-like creature.
The trilobite is so...
We've got a break right now.
Okay.
We'll bring you right back, I guess, in a few minutes.
All right.
Yeah, actually, I do want to make one point, and that is about the thing with the trilobites before that I was talking with Jonathan and you about. I'm going to give you a confession. The statement that I made about trilobites existing today, being a very serious challenge or really upsetting evolutionists, I'm taking that back.
So if they found living trilobites, that still would not change evolution theory?
What it would do is it would cause a minor problem in ways that...
But it's not completely unembraceable, is what you're saying.
Exactly. And Jonathan, and you were making that point, and I was wrong and you were right, and that's all I wanted to say about that. I was being a little bit too dogmatic about that.
Well, come on down. I'll buy you a chicken parmesan, and we can talk about it over dinner.
There you go.
I'm vegetarian, sorry.
I'll buy you a vegetarian chicken.
The chickens ate vegetables. That's how they... Corn. I mean...
But anyway, what I wanted to say about that was that if they discovered trilobites living today, it would be a problem in the sense that it would demand an explanation for why we're not getting signals from them in the geologic column. But it wouldn't be a falsification point.
Okay, why did we not get signals of coelacanth for 325 million years?
Yeah, I actually talked about an evolutionary biologist about that very recently, in fact. There's good reasons for that.
There is?
As far as I understand, all deep-sea marine animals are poorly represented in the recent geological strata. It's not just trilobites. I mean, it's not just coelacanths.
But you realize your entire statement just then is based on the assumption that evolution is true.
Sure, and that's exactly why I wasn't going to talk about it until you brought it up, because it's not the kind of thing that I want to debate on.